So today I have got some romance book recommendations with a specific type of queer rep in them. So all of these books are AMF romances with bisexual rep. So we've got a couple as the main part, one man, one woman, but they are still queer romances. And the reason I wanted to focus on this is they're often overlooked. So we'll get recommendations for romances or FF romances or combinations thereof. But yeah, bisexual people are still bisexual if they are in a relationship with someone of a different gender. And so I just wanted to flag some of these today, ones that I have absolutely loved. So starting with Talia Hibbert, and I have to mention it briefly, even though I think it's probably the one that most people know about, and that is Take a Hint, Danny Brown, because Danny is bisexual. This is fantastic fake dating romance, but chances are you've already heard of it. So I'm going to talk about a different Talia Hibbert book, which is Untouchable. Which is the second book in the Ravenswood series, but can absolutely be read as a standalone. So we have got Hannah and Nate, and so Hannah is bisexual, and this one is a nanny romance. So he is a single dad. They went to school together, but he moved away, and has come back into town to help look after his mum, support his brother. But he's now a single dad, so he needs someone to help look after the kids. Hannah has got a history with childcare, but for various reasons can't work in it anymore. So leaps at the chance to be his nanny. Obviously there is lots of false proximity, and just it's fantastic. I will say there is also great anxiety rep in here as well. But as a trigger warning, Nate's mum, the reason that he's had to come back is because she is ill with cancer. So if that's something that would affect you, then please bear that in mind with this one. So then the next one that I wanted to talk about was Hang the Moon by Alexandria Bellafleur. This is the second book in the Written in the Stars trilogy, but again can read absolutely fine as a standalone. The other two books in the series are also amazing, and they are both sapphic, so I would recommend them separately, but obviously they don't fit this particular theme. So in this book we have got Brendan and we have got Annie. So Brendan is the brother of Darcy from the first book, and Annie is Darcy's best friend who lives away, and Annie is bisexual in this particular relationship, and she has a lovely conversation with Elle from the first book actually about being bi. So this one is best friend's brother. In this case it's her best friend's little brother. When he had a crush on her as a teenager, but she very much remembered him as this like dorky guy, and is a bit surprised when she comes into town to find that he's all grown up now. And we also have very much an opposite situation here. So he is the biggest believer in romance, everything romantic, like he's literally made a career of it, whereas she is very much a skeptic. And so he makes it his mission to prove her wrong and to prove to her that romance does exist, while she's like, I'm just killing a bit of time before I go back off across the country for my next job. So yeah, definitely check this one out, and it also has an amazing friendship group in it, so yeah, really good one. And then the next one that I have is A Prince on Paper by Alyssa Cole. So this book is the third book in the Reluctant Royals series, but again reads absolutely fine as a standalone. The characters that have been in earlier books, like, I didn't even really remember. So yeah, you wouldn't have any problems whatsoever. So in this one we have got Johan and we have got Naya. So Johan, our Prince on Paper, is bisexual. So his mum married into the royal family, and then sadly passed away. So his stepdad is king, his little brother is the heir to the throne, but he's sort of a prince and sort of not. And then we've got Naya, who has very much lived in the shadow of her friends and all her connections, but just kind of wants to get out and see the world. And there is an upcoming referendum in Johan's country where they're going to decide if they keep the royalty or not, and things aren't looking that great, so he decides that they need some really good publicity, and works with Naya, and they have a fake engagement. So we have lots of lush forced proximity in here. We have a hero with somewhat of a playboy reputation, but the question as to whether actually his lifestyle matches that, really, really good. Absolutely love it. The two characters kind of develop so much over the course of it in their confidence of being themselves. So yeah, definitely worth looking at if you want like a royalty romance without being like too royal. It's a really good one. And then I have got The Intimacy Experiment, which is, I think it's the Shameless series book 2, but it is the follow-up to The Roommate. So in this one we have got Naomi, who is bisexual, who is a former porn star. So she was in the previous book as someone who worked alongside Josh. And then we have got Ethan, who is a rabbi. So fairly different career backgrounds for the two of them. So Naomi is trying to move her career on to be taken seriously as an educator, but everyone is judging her purely based on her past career choices. And what I do really like with her is that she doesn't feel bad about what she's done. She's like, if people have a problem with it, that's their problem, which I think is fantastic. Ethan has got his own synagogue that he is trying to revitalise, get people really engaged with, and so he arranges for Naomi to come and lead some courses there. So again, lots of having to spend time together. She is lecturing people on relationships and trust and things like that. So obviously when sparks start flying, there's a lot of things that are hitting very close to home for the two of them. And yeah, it's just, both of these books are just so much fun and really hot in very different ways to each other. And then, just what you want, in the middle of August, I have got a Christmas novella for you. I have got Meet Me in Los Feliz. In this one we have got Nora and we have got Bowie. So they are based in California, although Bowie is in fact British, living out there. So there's lots of little quirky British references, which I have to say were all 100% accurate. So she is kind of a multi-hat person. She's a nanny, she's an aspiring actor, you know, doing the grind, making her way up, doing commercials and things like that. And he is a baker, so he works in a cafe, which Nora happens to take her charges to one day, and so they meet. He is very much a relationships guy. So he's our bisexual in this case, and we have got references to both male and female exes. But every time he just falls really hard really fast, and so his friends are saying to him, look, you just need a Christmas fling, you just need to get with someone and then move on with your life to just experience that. And Nora is someone who, she's really sorted in life. She knows exactly what she wants, she knows exactly where she is, so for her she doesn't need a relationship to complete her. So it's pretty perfect for her. except of course when feelings start getting in the way. And it's really cute. It is a novella, so it's fairly short. There isn't a huge amount of angst in it, so it's just really nice if you want something a bit lighter. I didn't read it at Christmas. I read it a couple months ago and it was absolutely fine to read out of season. And then moving away from contemporary romance into paranormal, we have just one of my favourite couples. So we have got Always Practice Safe Hex by Juliet Cross, which is the 4th book in the Stay a Spell series. And all of the titles in this series are immense, I have to say. So in this book we have got Livy and Gareth. Livy is our bisexual in this case, and it's something that she mentions as kind of being happy as part of who she is. And she is a witch who can kind of influence people's emotions. It's very much like a charisma type magic that she has. And we have got Gareth, who is a Grimm. Not a lot is known about the Grimms, so Livy doesn't really know what his magic involves. She just knows that a lot of people feel really strong negative emotions when they're around Grimms. The two of them are like workplace rivals, so they've kind of got rival businesses that are working towards similar things, but they're forced to work together as part of a competition that they both want to win. So there is that rivalry, there is also that forced proximity, and lots of other things going in this beautiful paranormal world. And yeah, they're both absolutely fantastic. Nice and steamy, but I love like the journey they go through with her discovering what his powers are. He does have telekinesis, which is another weakness of mine. But yeah, it's a great one. I would say with this one you probably are better reading the rest of the series first, but you could read it as a standalone. I'm pretty sure it would work. It's just there are a lot of references to like the other sisters and stuff from the earlier books, so I have to see with that. And so then the final one that I have got is not actually released yet, and it's a fantasy romance, which is Hunt on Dark Waters by Katie Robert. So this is going to be the first book in the Crimson Sails series, which is a pirate fantasy romance series based sort of in the same universe as her Deal with a Demon series. So there are a couple of like crossover references, but it's in a different realm to that. So we have our heroine Lizzie, who gets into some trouble with her vampire, definitely lover, not girlfriend, and uses a portal to run away, and ends up in the middle of the sea in this realm called Threshold, which is the place that has portals to all the other realms. She is fished out of the sea and onto a pirate ship by Bowen, who is the captain of that pirate ship. And with these pirates, they have to, like, you either have to join the crew or they have to kill you. That's the only two options, which she thinks is absolute rubbish. And he's under a lot of pressure from his crew anyway. So he's having to deal with the pressure from his crew and the fact that she's trying to kick up a bit of a fuss and things like that. But there is a lot of chemistry going on there. Fantastic all-round queer up in this book, and I particularly love that like her lover that she's trying to escape at the beginning is a woman. Her romantic interest for the book is a man, and then we also have non-binary characters that she talks about flirting with in the middle. Katie Robert as a whole is fantastic for queer up in like almost all of her books. Certainly all of her more recent books have got it very blatantly, and I love it. But yeah, when this one releases later in the year, I definitely recommend checking it out. I absolutely loved the arc when I read that and can't wait to continue in this series when there are more books. And I think the second book is Sapphic, so I'm very, very excited for that. so there you go. Those are my recommendations for MF romances with a bisexual rep. I have got quite a few on my TBR already, and actually it's kind of one of those nice bits of representation, because sometimes you find it accidentally, you don't even realise it's going to be in there. But if you do have any recommendations that you think I should check out, please let me know. Hopefully I will read enough more over the next few months that I can do this video again and give you even more recommendations. Next up, hopefully, if I finish it in time, I should have a vlog next week. Otherwise, I am in the next few weeks going to do a bookshelf tour, because I recently rearranged my shelves. So stay tuned for that, and hopefully I will see you soon. Bye!